Hello Home Slices, it's Kiara with Home Slice Adulting today, and I'm coming to you with my review of Love and Hip Hop Season 3 Reunion Part 1. Now, I don't know why it felt like painstaking to almost watch this reunion. I mean, I guess I'm really just in the mood to watch something that's a little bit more grown up, like Real Housewives of Atlanta. Check out that review if you haven't already. But just something about them made me feel like the whole situation was childish. Nobody knows how to let things go or let them be water under the bridge, and it was just a little annoying to me. But nonetheless, I have made a commitment to continue reviewing this show, so I'm gonna see it all the way through. So let's get started. I'm just gonna go in order of things that happened, and we have Moniz, Fizz, and Nikki. They still have some unresolved stuff from very early on in the season. Fizz claims that he could have very easily gotten his own place, and we all know that's not true. I really don't believe that he went to her house not, having to. Whatever. Anyways, that they were only co-parenting. I think everyone can agree, though, that Moniz and Fizz are no longer romantically interested, and I can only say thank goodness, because they really don't belong together. Now, Moniz tells us that she is bisexual and she's working on, getting pregnant and having a child, and, that Fizz is not the sperm donor. So, whatever. I try to like Moniz, and I can give her props whenever she does something great, which I will do later on. But whatever with Moniz. And Nikki got into an argument with someone in the crowd and essentially told the girl in the crowd, "You didn't get paid to be here. Be quiet." Which essentially is fine. I mean, I feel like Nikki kind of got the short end of the stick throughout the whole reunion, essentially because she used to date Fizz, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, Fizz's comments, he just kind of seemed very ignorant towards Nikki. He just kind of seemed like one of those rude guys that is just a butthole after you guys break up. And he talked about her plastic surgery when he loved and was like very enamored with all of her plastic surgery at first. And that's why Fizz is lame. So moving on, we have Moniz, Princess, and Brandy. And like I said, nobody on the show really knows how to be a grown-up and get over stuff and let stuff go. And Moniz was just saying, this whole thing happened a year ago about them talking about her motherhood. And I mean, while I would never personally comment on somebody's motherhood, if on the previous season your baby daddy and your own mother talked about how you needed to step up as a mom, it's not like it came out of left field, the things that they were saying. The way that you were portrayed on the show gave her the conclusion that you were not as good a mother as you should have been to your child, and she shouldn't have spoke on it. And I think Brandy was being very hypocritical when she was saying, Moniz can't do it because she's speaking on lies, but I can do it and talk about Moniz and her family situation because I speak on truth. And that was hypocritical to me, and Brandy was very wrong for that. I do think that Moniz is an excellent victim. While I can see why Masika and Masika and Tiara thought that Moniz was being ganged up on, it's just a lot of different people who have the same opinion and all stating it at once. I didn't think that they were necessarily trying to gang up on her. And Moniz, when she's backed into a corner, she just really can't take it. But when she's attacking somebody, she, expects them to take it. Hence being a victim. And when Nikki was like, "Oh, you slid in, Safari's DM trying to talk about some work stuff," and Safari kind of played that off or whatever. When Brandy finally talked about Moniz calling her son ugly, is the only time I really felt that Brandy was justified as far as the situation with her and Moniz and Princess come up. is how upset she got, because it really was crossing the line, and you know, Moniz being unapologetic about it is just you know, just made it worse. And when the sex tape comes up, Moniz just kind of wants to leave. Oh, I'll see them in court. And you know, Jason Lee is like, let's go, I got money. And you know, the jury's still out on that, but you know, it's possible that he does. They have a whole bunch of arguments, and it was so many things going around. I couldn't take notes on it all. My notes don't even make sense about it. But at the end, the situation wasn't resolved. The discussion went on a lot longer than it was supposed to. Masika jumped in, and Brandy jumped in as well. And Brandy, I think, is when it comes to Masika, I think she feels like Masika is just guilty by association. And Masika just, you know, is calling her names, and Brandy is just telling Masika to shut the F up, because it really didn't have anything to do with Masika. I really wish she wouldn't have spoken up at all. I mean, when Max called, was it Masika she called? Whoever he called a B word and was like, you know, don't talk about my son. And I was like, you know, Max does need to stand up for Brandy on that, about calling their son ugly. But like I said, it wasn't resolved, and nobody knows how to be an adult. And so next we see a break where Ray J is like, you know, calling someone's child ugly is just crossing the line. And, you know, at least he understood that. And Moniz is like, I'm just feeling burnt out, I guess, because everybody was just, you know, telling her how much they disliked her all at once, and she just couldn't take it. But everyone else should just take her BS, so whatever. So next we have Ray J and Princess. We see how after her dad shows up at the wedding, her relationship with her dad is much better. They've even gone to visit, and you know, Princess got a little misty-eyed. And what is Sonia doing there? Mamas need to stay away from reunions. I mean, excluding A1 and Lyrica's mama, because they really had a big part in the storyline of this entire season. But I mean, mamas need to stay away from reunions because it gets a little too ratchet. But anyways, Brandy wasn't at the wedding, and she doesn't seem to have any bad feelings about that. I mean, we knew she was kicked out of the bridal party, but I wasn't sure if she had been kicked out of the wedding, and it looks like she was. And you know, there were no hard feelings about that, which I think was really great. That, you know, some people can get past something. So she said, you know, her position between Princess and Ray J was to try to help him understand where she was coming from. And I don't think any of us believe that. I think it was just a little, you know, revenge for Princess telling Ray J about the store. But whatever. Nikki and... I don't ever remember Nikki and Princess ever being really that close or anything. But Princess was very, like, nonchalant regarding Nikki. She was like, I haven't talked to her in 2 years. She didn't try to reconnect with me after we had whatever spat it was. And it just kind of made Nikki seem like this whole episode, as much as I admire Nikki's entrepreneurial side, and I do think that boss is a word that can be used to describe her, I really think that she came off wrong in this reunion. Like, the whole time she didn't come off like a boss, essentially. So next we have Safari, Nikki and Rosa. And Safari is like, I walked away from somebody who was worth $50 million. That's definitely not a gold digger. And when he was discussing the lawsuit that we all thought he had against Nikki, Ray J was still trying to coach him, and he was like, pump your brakes, watch what you say. And whatever excuse Safari came up with did not make sense. Oh, they were drawing up some papers and they were like, hey, look at this. But yeah, I think he actually wanted to sue her. And he said in the confessional, I did my work and I want my pay. So yeah, that didn't make sense. Why is Nia at the reunion at all? First off, she's not with the person that she was in a relationship with. Second off, she didn't have a storyline. Third off, she probably had 30 minutes of camera time altogether throughout the whole 12 episodes of the season. Why is Nia there? And if I were Brandy, and if Brandy were smart, she would have said, I don't talk to people who don't have storylines, okay? When Nia was trying to confront them about the sex tape. Girl, be quiet. Go sit down somewhere. You're nobody on this show. Whatever. Anyways, Ray J was trying to say that Safari saying I want it all is different from saying I want you both, but they're just two sides of the same coin. It's the same thing, whatever. Everybody knows that, and he's just playing silly. But I didn't know about Rosa and Amber Rose. I didn't know about Rosa at all before this show, so that's interesting. A1 for the first time said a little sleazy thing. I know it was a joke when he was saying when he asked for both of you, you should have gave him both of you. And it was the only part of the episode that was kind of light and kind of funny, and Nikki and Rosa are still dating, and they give this nasty sloppy kiss on the camera, and you know, Princess had to tell Ray J, you better calm down, you're married. But the next thing we see is them talking about Brandy and her boutique. She is very, she admits that she was wrong, that there was no excuse for it, which is very adult of her. Even though like a lot of their, like I said, a lot of their behaviors and attitudes this reunion isn't very adult-like. But I will say, Moniz had an adult moment when she said, you know, she did what she thought she had to do for her family, and I don't care if her store fails or thrives, so you know, good on her and good for her, you know, doing whatever she wants to do. And so next, Shonda was being a little shady, and she was like, I would never spend my child's savings. And it's like, you would never spend your child's savings because you probably don't have $27,000. You probably don't have 27,000 anythings. So I don't know why you would even try to put yourself in her shoes when you guys don't even have the amount of income or in the same tax bracket as Max and Brandy. And you know, Max and Brandy have entrepreneurial things going on, and they're in the music industry, and Shauna, you're just a housewife who sings at open mic nights occasionally. Like, you know, get some business, and then we can talk about how much money you won't take from your children. So whatever. But Brandy did say that the money has been repaid, which is great. And I mean, anybody who's doing, you know, their thing as an entrepreneur, I 100% salute. So lastly, we have Masika, and the host is like, oh, while Masika was on hiatus, what does that mean? I was under the impression that Masika was fired after the first season because of some altercation that she had with Young Berg or something. I'm not really sure, but hiatus my butt. And what hot record is she talking about that she had with Fetty Wap? I never heard the song, but anyways, she's saying things are better with Fetty, and from what I think is going to happen and from what I've seen from on the show, they're going to be the off and on type of co-parents. Like, one moment things are going to be great, and the next moment things are going to be terrible, and we've already seen that on the show. But she claims that she and Fetty were dating a few months before she got pregnant with their daughter, and nobody believes it. Nobody believes it. You don't have to put on airs for us, Masika. Like, overall, we can say Masika is one of the people who kind of keeps it real, but you're not keeping it real about this. We know that. And, you know, sometimes women think that we are dating, and men just think that, you know, we are screwing. So either she has it misconstrued or she's just totally lying. So I think she's lying. And she was like, you know, I won't give any of my camera time to to Hazel E. Oh, who is that? Who is Hazel E? I'm not gonna give her any of my camera time. Y'all, I really tried to like Masika, and I can give her props where she does good, but Masika, I'm just not feeling her on this, and I'm ready for Hazel to, you know, confront her, because Hazel knows how to stand in her stuff. She is okay with the way she is, and with all the plastic surgery that she has gotten done, and with her fake hair and fake boobs and fake butt and all that stuff. Hazel E is good with herself, and you know, that's the best thing that she can be. So next time we're gonna get to see a little bit more of this ratchetness, and I am virtually over it. Love and Hip Hop is coming on in the next few weeks. Be sure to check out my Real Housewives of Atlanta season premiere video. I have some other videos. One of them are my tips and tricks on how to grocery shop when you're trying to live a healthier lifestyle. So check out some of those other videos. I'll have note cards posted up here. You guys have an excellent day. Thanks for watching, and peace out, home slizzles.